Here's a really, really easy way to get your team and yourself accomplishing, executing more predictably and much faster. Okay, and that is when you think of a project, okay, it's got tasks. So we're gonna think about tasks within a project, okay? And what I'll also do is say, hey Jim, when is this gonna get done? Thursday? Cool, great. And the problem with time is that humans are horrible, absolutely horrible at predicting. Like, we're off by like a factor of 2 when we talk about time, which is really significant, especially in a business, right? So we don't want to think about time, we want to think about size. Okay, size. We're actually pretty proficient at saying, that's a small t-shirt, that's a medium, that's a large, that is way too freaking big, right? Like, we can look at something and say, I don't think I'm gonna fit in that car, or whoa, that's a huge vehicle, right? So we're much better at size. So that's the thing one. Think of tasks in terms of size, not time. Humans cannot predict time worth a damn. Don't try. The second thing is that if we're gonna do size, we have to have a scale that we understand. Now, if you ever ask anybody like, hey, what's how much does this hurt on a scale of 1 to 10? Humans, we have no idea what the difference between a 4 and a 5 is, or a 5 and a 6, which means we don't even know the difference between a 4 and a 6, right? And so we don't want to have this like nice smooth scale. What we want to do is we want to chunk. Okay, so we have a small, let's say 1, 3, 5, 13. Those are numbers we use, we play with them sometimes. But basically we want to say, is this a small task or is this a huge task? And if it's like a 13, maybe it's 2 separate tasks. Right now we can start identifying how much bandwidth it's going to take. And once we identify how much bandwidth it's going to take, we'll get a pretty good idea of how much bandwidth each team member and the team as a whole could take on, like during the course of a week or 2 weeks or a month, okay? So one is think of size, not time. Tasks should not have an amount of time they take. They should have a general size of task. 2, chunk them, okay? Small, 1 or 2, medium, 3 or 5, large, 8 or 9, really, really large, 13. That's probably 2 separate tasks. Okay. And then the cool thing you can do, this is kind of a bonus. I wasn't actually going to say this, but kind of a bonus. When you do this with a team, right? So I might say, ooh, that's an 8. Somebody else on my team might go, are you sure? That's like a 1. And what just happened, right? Like, this person self-identified as somebody that's more proficient at this. Because to me, it's an 8. You ask me to like sit down and build an Excel sheet and fill it out, it's a 13. It's an impossible task. But for somebody like my COO, it's like a 1. It takes 0 time, effort, or bandwidth for him to do that. And so when you use size and you chunk and you have these conversations out loud with your team, which you should do, you say, okay, I'll do that. That's probably about a 13. Somebody else on your team will say, are you sure? That's only like a 2. And what they just did was they just told you that task is more in their strength than in yours. And you learn a lot about your team and who should be doing what, because we're talking about efficiency as a team, right? If it's a 2 for them and a 13 for you, as a team, as a whole, it's going to be way more efficient to have them do that task, right? Super, super simple. You can implement that right now. It will make a difference immediately.